I'm in this storytelling troupe. Yeah, I'm in this storytelling troupe, and it's a college class, and it meets once a week every Friday, and then sometimes we go to festivals or have special shows with Atlanta people, but usually there's an end of semester showcase. And someone from the troupe last semester did this story, and at one point he said how when he was a kid there was this movie rental place that was like if you took a Blockbuster and a crack house and put them together. And when he was talking about it in class, I was kind of half paying attention. I was blogging on Tumblr. And then he says the words, there's a cardboard cutout of Dean Winchester from Supernatural. Dean Winchester from Supernatural. And I look up, and he's like, exactly. And I was like, I like Supernatural. And then when we were planning on doing something for the show, when it was just us and the professor wasn't there, we were like, it would be so funny. It would be so funny if when he said Dean Winchester from Supernatural, everybody looks at me. Because I look like a Supernatural fan. And then when we brought up the idea to him, I was like, yeah, we had this fun idea. He was like, I don't think people would get it. I'm like, listen, old man, you don't get what I get. You don't get what the kids get. You don't get Supernatural. Isn't that right, Dean Winchester? Yeah. Old bird. I haven't gone to his class in 3 weeks, so it'll be at least a month until I'll have seen him again, because he pissed me off. Because I'm a Renaissance artist, and I was like, I will do the art for this. And he was like, oh, I would love for you to give me your expertise. Then he went with minimalism, Dean. Minimalism. Yeah. So I went, no. Because that was the one thing I told him. I told him the two things that make me go off the rails. The two things that will make me go off the rails are my artistic voice being ignored and minimalism. And then he goes and does both. Both. So I'm freaking him out if he's gonna treat me like a teenager. It's also because I'm planning on dropping out of college, and I told him that, and he was just like, I don't want you to end up homeless on the street just talking about how good your art is. And I was like, I wouldn't be talking about it to people on the street, I would be blogging about it on Tumblr. And when I told that to my friend, they were like, you should start writing if you do go homeless, you should start writing a fan fiction, so you can be like, oh, sorry guys, my battery ran out. Sorry for yeah. Oh, that old bird. He done pissed me off. And I do what I want. I don't like being told what to do, and I would say this all the time. And everybody always goes, we know you don't like being told what to do. And they say, oh, we know you're an insane person. Then I'm like, this thing specifically, if you do this, I will go insane. And then I wake up. It upset me so much I cried. Because I was like, oh, these people, they don't take me seriously as an artist. My art wasn't enough for them. So, fuck that shit. It is all or nothing. Because art is my entire life. It doesn't just consume me. Yeah, that's what he said when I was like, art is my entire life. He goes, I know, it must consume you. It does not consume me. I am it, for I only am through art, you bitch. Old bird. So, by that definition, when it comes to art, it is a matter of life or death. And I don't know, this is a lot of that is shit that I'm saying all the time because I'm a blogger. In class, I was like, yeah, I kind of just say whatever comes out of my mouth, and he was like, we're working on that. The fuck? That's what the reblog button for is, bitch, if I wanted to say the same thing over and over again. If I said everything the same way every single time, what the fuck would I have to blog about? I'm a blogger. I blog on Tumblr. I'm literally blogging on Tumblr right now. I'm blogging as in I'm waiting for a video to process. Not this one, the one I recorded before it. Because this video can't process as I'm recording it, dummy. But I really like this whole blogging thing, and I'm a golden age blog. You know, this is the old internet. Except it's also a form of high art. Did Dan or Phil ever have anything like this when they were Dan Is Not on Fire and Amazing Phil? They were just raw gay. And British. But I don't have a fun British accent to add to my allure. I am just an insane person. I say this, I'm like Dan Is Not on Fire, especially right now because I'm pretending to be a college student and just taking whatever classes I want to. But instead of depression, I'm wanting to I used to want to kill myself all the time, but now I'm just like, tra-la-la-la-la, ferment, Destiel OTP, Kirksbach OGM preg, beep boop, beep boop. Like whenever I was in my TV genres and styles class and we were all told to prepare a question, when we were talking about the 60s television we watched, I went, are you guys seeing? Are you seeing why housewives were writing Kirk Spock fan fiction in the 1960s? And this one asshole kept going, no, I don't know what you're talking about. That's just stuff me and my bros do. And then he started dissing on Tumblr, and I was like, have you ever used it? And then he, like, when I tried talking about how Tumblr has, like, good filtering and stuff like that, to where if you know how to use it, you aren't gonna see any shit that you don't like, and if you do, it, like, just trickles through the cracks, and at that point, then you get to make your own blog post complaining about it. But he was coming from a point of not understanding Tumblr, trying to discredit it, and then afterwards he was like, I love playing devil's advocate. So you just love being an asshole and pissing people off for the sake of pissing them off. Same guy, whenever I was talking about, I was like, I will never forgive American Horror Story Freak Show for having Alice in Chains in their 1950s freak show, and he's just like, but it's Alice in Chains, okay, and I was like, it's 90s grunge metal in the 1950s, and he's like, but it's Alice in Chains, bro, metal didn't even exist, and this isn't just it playing as a soundtrack for the show, this is a character singing it as a song that is canon in the universe. I love Fiona Apple, but what is she doing here? Sometimes I just feel like typity-typing, and sometimes I feel like yappity-yapping. You know, I'm always doing something, it's just that I'm not always doing the same thing. I do a lot of things, but I'm always doing all of the things that I'm doing at a lot of the time, just at random intervals for whoever knows how long, for as however much intensity as I desire it to be. I just say whatever comes out of my mouth, and then bloggity blog, even if I'm saying the same thing over and over again, even if I'm being extremely redundant, I'm doing it in an interesting way, and even if what I'm saying isn't entertaining, the visuals are so goddamn good. So goddamn good. And Dan Is Not on Fire and Amazing Phil, well, they have their... Amazing Phil, the colors are what's... The thing is, they have a good aesthetic value to their videos that is unintentional. Mine is intentional. Yeah. Among Us, 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 Sus. Among Us, Among Us, Sus. Ferment, ferment, ferment. I love ferment. There's nothing that gets me through the day more than thinking about the eternal love of Kermit the Frog. But never forget Destiel, OTP, Kirksbog, OG, and Prague.